Yo, what's happening everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. Alright, so for today's video, we're going to be going over everything that's going to be happening within Pokemon Go the week of October 7th until the 13th. There's not too much going on this week aside from one very specific event, and I do think that with this event, it's going to be super important that you do not miss it. I'm of course talking about the Team Go Rocket Takeover event, and for anyone who is a longtime player of this game, you would know that these events are incredibly important. So we'll get more into that later, but let's talk about everything that is going to be happening. First and foremost, we of course have the continuation of the Galarian Expedition event. And with this event, we have the debut of the shiny Galarian legendary birds. So if you're not using your daily adventure incense, you need to get on that because chances are you might come across one of these Pokemon and they're definitely going to be sought after. We also have Zamazenta in 5-star raids, and even though it is not relevant in terms of gameplay, it is still going to be a rare shiny. And yeah, shiny Zamazenta is now available, so make sure you're doing a couple of these raids while you still can so that you could pick up this shiny that is definitely going to be rare after this event ends. But speaking of the Galarian Expedition event, let's now talk about the Team Go Rocket Takeover event. It's essentially going to be part 2 of this event, and it's really the important part of this entire week. I mean, with the Team Go Rocket Takeover event, there is of course the bonus where you could remove frustration off of your Shadow Pokemon with regular TMs. And that is a super important bonus because Shadow Pokemon are some of the most powerful Pokemon in Pokemon Go, but they only get unlocked when you remove frustration off of them. If you have frustration on some of your Pokemon that you want to actually use, then make sure you TM away that frustration so that you could use those Shadow Pokemon. And then with this Galarian Expedition Team Go Rocket Takeover event, we have the debut of a new Shadow Legendary, and it is Heatran. Now, I've talked in the past how this Pokemon might actually be top tier as a raid attacker and even a PvP Pokemon with a Shadow bonus, and I still believe that holds true. You will want to get yourself a Shadow Heatran. It's actually pretty good, especially as a fire type raid attacker. Now, maybe you could wait until it becomes a 5-star legendary raid. That's definitely going to happen in the distant future, but for now, it may not hurt to use one Super Rocket Raider to get yourself a Shadow Heatran, because if you end up with a 100% IV, that's definitely going to be useful, and you will want to do it quickly so that you could remove frustration off of it. And then of course, we got a shake up to what Shadow Pokemon are going to be available from Team Go Rocket Grunts as well as the team leaders. And I do think that it's worth checking out because some of these new Shadow Pokemon might actually be useful, and you will want to get them as soon as possible so that you could remove frustration off of them. Now, also happening this week is a raid day featuring the Pokemon Mega Mawile. Now, I did make a video that was incredibly unpopular because I talked about how you could skip out on this raid day. And I totally agree with a lot of the comments that were in that video. Yes, you should at least use your free raid passes to get the Mega Energy, but I also feel like there are some bonuses in this event that you will want to utilize. If you purchase the special in-game ticket, you will get yourself extra raid passes, as well as a bonus that will increase your chances of getting Rare Candy XL, and that might actually prove to be useful, considering that when it comes to Rare Candy XL, it is extremely useful when it comes to powering up legendaries and Shadow Pokemon, but also it is extremely difficult to get. So maybe that could be something you could do, considering that Mega Mawile is looking to be easily soloable, so it's definitely worth checking out. This raid day is going to be happening this Saturday, October 12th from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. And like I said, at the very least, you should use the 5 free raid passes that they're going to be giving you during this day. Now, in terms of the Go Battle League, these are the leagues that are going to be active during this week. Until October 8th, we're going to have a continuation of the Open Great League along with the Galar Cup. And then afterwards, we're going to have the Ultra League as well as the Sunshine Cup. So if you have any good teams for any of these cups, then you should definitely get your battles in every single day because it's going to be a great way for you to get a lot of good wins, and that's going to lead to some really good rewards. Now, in terms of the Spotlight Hour that we're going to be having this Tuesday, it's going to feature the Pokemon Galarian Slowpoke. And it's not going to have a boosted shiny rate or anything like that, but it's really going to be all about the Spotlight Hour bonus, which is going to be a double experience for any Pokemon that you evolve. If you have a whole bunch of trash Pokemon with a lot of candies and low evolution costs that you have saved up, then it would be wise to pop a lucky egg and actually get those Pokemon evolved. It's going to be a great influx of experience, and even if you are at max level, that's still pretty important because probably in the future they're going to increase the level cap, and you will want to get a leg up on that by getting as much experience as possible when you can. Now, in terms of what's going to be in raid battles, we are of course going to be having Zamazenta in 5-star raids pretty much for the entirety of this week, and we're also going to have Mega Blaziken in Mega Evolution raids. Mega Blaziken is actually a pretty decent Mega Evolution that is useful with a lot of different raiding content, so that is some Mega Energy that you should farm up, and I think it's definitely going to be worth it. And then when it comes to Zamazenta, it may not necessarily be gameplay relevant, like it's not going to be a top tier raid attacker, and it certainly doesn't have too many uses within the Go Battle League, but at the very least, the shiny form is now going to be available. But speaking of Zamazenta, that's going to be the raid hour that's going to be happening this Wednesday between 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock p.m. local time. Every single gym is going to be spawning a Zamazenta during that time, and yeah, I think it's going to be a great opportunity for you to pick up this shiny. And then don't forget that on the weekend, we're gonna have Shadow Entei spawning in 5-star Shadow raids. And it's actually a pretty decent Shadow Legendary Pokemon. It's definitely considered top tier, at least an A tier when it comes to fire type raid damage, and I do think it's worth going after if you do not have good fire types. So yeah, overall, the major highlight for this week is of course the Team Go Rocket Takeover event, and the raiding content is not too bad. We are getting that raid day, and like I said earlier, it might be at least worth doing the 5 free raid passes, but I really think the major point of focus should be on the Team Go Rocket Takeover event. Like I said, it's only going to go until Friday, so you have a very limited time to utilize those bonuses. And I really do think this is one of those important events where every single player, no matter where they are, needs to fully utilize them. And it's not just about removing frustration off of your Shadow Pokemon, there's plenty of other bonuses that are really good to the average player. Like for example, there's going to be a huge influx of Team Go Rocket battles and Team Go Rocket balloons that are going to be spawning. And those are a great way for you to pick up new Shadow Pokemon, but also to pick up mystery components. And then you could challenge a whole bunch of Team Go Rocket leaders to get yourself shiny Shadow Pokemon, and as well as those 12km eggs, which are a great source of rare Pokemon along with some high Stardust gains. So I really do think this week is going to be big on Team Go Rocket battles, and that really should be your focus. Get as many Team Go Rocket grunt battles as you can, and complete a bunch of Team Go Rocket leader battles as well. And then it might be worth doing maybe one Giovanni battle to pick yourself up a Shadow Heatran, but that's really going to be up to you. You could wait quite a while and get yourself a higher IV through a Shadow Legendary raid, or you could do it right now and hope for the best. I really do not think it's going to hurt you. So yeah, in terms of content, it's going to be a decent week. If anything, I don't necessarily think there's going to be a big standout event this week, but I really do think that overall, it's going to be enough to get players continuously playing the game. That's just my opinion on it. But let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Is there anything in particular that you are looking forward to? Or are you planning to take it easy this week because there's just simply nothing that interests you? Definitely share your thoughts in the comments, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I am Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself, and I'll catch you in the next one.
진솔아와 함께해